Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today what we're going to be going over is a flawless foundation application. This can be really tricky and a lot of steps tend to be skipped. So we're going to go over beginning to end. I won't go over my full makeup look. We're just going to focus on foundation today and coverage. The first step in applying foundation is prepping your face for it. A lot of people skip this step, and to me it is the most important step that you can possibly do before applying your foundation. And this is what's going to help give it that flawless finish. So to begin, I always like to hydrate my face. Personally, for me, I apply my foundation in the morning time or whenever I'm getting ready to go somewhere. So I like a gel moisturizer. Cream ones can be kind of heavy and they are oil-based. Gel moisturizers are water-based and they absorb into the skin really quickly, leaving it really hydrated. High-end one here that is my all-time favorite is the Origins Ginseng Gel Moisturizer. This is an amazing hydrant and I do recommend this for oily skin people, dry skin people, or normal skin people. This one is for all skin types and it will not clog your pores. A great dupe for this is the Olay Fresh Effects Do-Over. This is basically the same formula. It smells delicious too. It is a gel hydrant. It won't clog your pores, and I recommend this one for all skin types, especially to use in the morning time before you apply your foundation. I'm going to take a MAC 190 brush. This is a synthetic brush. What I'm going to do is get a little bit of the moisturizer on it. I'm going to start from the center of my face and work it out, kind of like a sunshine. Applying the moisturizer, and I'm going to apply a good amount of this underneath the eye. This is going to help the concealer stay on well and help it not to crease up. Now let that set for a little bit, and once that is completely absorbed into my skin, I move on to primers. So there's about 100 different primers out there on the market, and I do recommend doing some research and pick out which one is best for your personal skin type. If you have oily skin, I definitely recommend the Prime Time by Bare Minerals. This is their oil control primer. It is amazing for oily skin, and it will help control that oil. If your skin is dead and dehydrated, I definitely recommend the Hangover RX by Too Faced. This one has electrolytes in it and all kinds of good stuff to replenish your skin, and also it's a great hydrant. If you notice a lot of big pores and indentions in your skin, I definitely recommend a silicone-based primers. These are really good in filling in any imperfections in the skin, and that way your foundation lays over the top and flawlessly. The first one I'm going to recommend to you guys is the Baby Skin by Maybelline. This one is really inexpensive. You can pick it up at your local drugstore. This is an amazing silicone facial primer. The next one I want to recommend to you guys is this one is by City Cosmetics, and I love this one. It smells amazing, but besides that, it has things in it to treat acne, and it is a silicone-based primer. So it's going to fill in those pores and any imperfections that you don't want to show up, and it's going to leave your foundation laying over your skin. Amazing finish. I hope that helps you guys pick out which primer is best for you. Today I'm going to be using the Pore Minimizing Primer by City Cosmetics, and I just popped a little bit out on my hand. I'm just going to dab a tiny bit on the tip of my fingertips. I'm going to work that in the center. You definitely don't have to cover your entire face with a facial primer, especially when using a silicone one. You can just apply it to places that you have imperfections or places you want a little more coverage and to fill in those pores. So what I'm going to do is apply it to the nose area and work it out, and then I'm just going to do a little bit on the forehead, and then that's plenty for me. If you have any other areas, go ahead and apply it to those areas. If you're using a primer for different reasons, such as the Hangover RX to replenish your skin, you can go ahead and apply that to your entire face. As far as foundations go, it's really important to pick out the right shade for you and the right type of foundation for you. I have a full video on the top 5 drugstore foundations, and I go over what each foundation is so great about it and what it's good for, what type of skin it's good for. So if you're interested in that, just check out that video. I'll link it down below. But as far as today, I'm going to be using MAC's Match Master Foundation. I really like this one. It has shade technology within it, which really helps it to match to your actual shade of your skin tone. So to begin this, I'm going to pump out a little bit on the back of my hand. 3 pumps is probably going to be more than enough for this look, but what I like to do next is apply it kind of to the center of the face. I always apply way less than what I think I might use, because you want to start off with your foundation with a really sheer layer. You don't want to go in with a whole lot of foundation to work with. Once this sheer layer of foundation is blended out completely, you can go back in with a little more and add a tad bit more coverage where places might need it. There's no way your whole entire face needs a full heavy coverage foundation, because then you're going to get into too much makeup and it can create a really big oily mess. Today I'm going to be using my F88 kabuki brush. This is by Sigma Cosmetics and I really like this. This has synthetic bristles, therefore it does not absorb your product. It actually keeps your product on the brush and helps it to blend out on the skin. You have to be very careful when you start certain brushes because they can absorb a lot of your product, and that is a big waste. So what I like to do is start in the center of the face and diffuse the foundation outward, kind of like a sun ray. You never want to work the foundation upward. Everybody has teeny tiny hairs that you can't see on your face, and then whenever you're working foundation upward, you're actually going against the grain, and that is not going to help us create a flawless finish. So what I like to do is start with a dabbing motion. And I'm pushing this into the skin and then I'm working it outward. You always want to create a really seamless finish with your foundation, and you never want to be able to tell where your foundation starts and stops. As far as the forehead area, I never cover my whole entire forehead with foundation. It's just not necessary, and you never want to be able to tell where your foundation starts and stops in the hairline. So the best thing to do for this is to apply just a little bit of foundation and then blend it outward, kind of like a sun ray. Now that my foundation is done, I'm going to look in the mirror and just see any imperfection spots that may just need a tad bit more coverage. Now we're going to talk concealers. For covering the under eye area, which as you can see, I have a full face of foundation on, and you can still see a little bit of darkness in my under eye area. Step one, if you have really dry under eyes, I recommend you apply an under eye cream just on your under eye area. I have two concealers today that I'm going to be using. I have the L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and I also have the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I think they are pretty much compatible concealers. They are heavy coverage, and they do a great job in covering up dark circles. I'm going to use the L'Oreal on this eye and the MAC on this eye. Now I'm not highlighting the face, I'm just covering the dark circles. So when doing that, I normally go in with just a little bit of concealer on the dark circle area, and I leave it at that, and then I start blending it out. You never want to be able to tell where your concealer starts and stops. You want that seamless, gradual finish. That way you're just a little bit brightened in the darker areas underneath your eyes, and then it blends out well with your foundation. So I'm going to start by stippling the concealer out. And now I'm going to begin to diffuse it out into my skin. On this side over here, I'm going to take a little bit of my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and pack it onto the under eye area. This stuff is really, really thick, and a little bit goes a super long way. And I'm going to use that same brush here, and I'm just going to stipple that out. Now that I have my foundation on and my concealer on, heavy enough, that way I'm comfortable with it and I feel like I have enough coverage. Personally, everybody's is going to be a little bit different with how much product they use, but for me, I feel like I'm comfortable enough and that everything is covered that I want it to be covered. Now it's really important to set the foundation. What I'm going to be using is a mineral skin finish powder. Now this is not a foundation powder. A lot of people think that they should add a powder on top of their foundation to add more coverage. This is where you get into way too much makeup, just too matted and really cakey. Setting your foundation with a mineral powder instead with a really light hand just helps your foundation to last longer, and it helps set it into your skin. Again, I'm not using this for any coverage whatsoever. I'm just using it to set the foundation. I'm just going to really lightly and softly pat this into my skin just to set my makeup. Lastly, what I like to do to complete the flawless foundation look is to make sure it stays there. So what I'm using today is my MAC Fix Plus spray. This is just a setting spray that's going to help lock everything in. So that is it for all my foundation application tips and tricks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful. I hope it helped you guys figure out which products are best for you and how to apply your foundation the correct way. That way you get a flawless finish. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe before you leave. I would definitely love that. And I love all of you guys to death. You guys are amazing. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!